Okay. There it is. It's a bit hot, but oh well. It's starting to cool down, so it's not going to burn my hands. Right. Okay. Hi, everyone. You're already all sitting down. Got the cake. I told you it'd be a few minutes. I mean, I'd start getting it ready before you all got here, but I figured, I'd bake one anyway. Feel free to help yourselves, okay? It's made with, like, apple slices and things like that, just whatever I could find, to be fair. So, yeah, help yourselves, and let's get this council meeting started, I suppose. Okay, I'll take a seat. Actually, do you want to sit down, Maximus? I don't mind standing. No? Okay. I'll sit then, I suppose. Okay. So, as you all may or may not know, we have apprehended the man that we are calling the Accomplice. At this point, we are still classing Doug as the original suspect. However, we have also added him to the list of victims due to the fact that he didn't go willingly with the Accomplice. I know that doesn't quite make complete sense, but it will be staying that way until we know whether he was working for the Silenced or not. Right now, we all have a decision to make. We all know what decision that is. Ideally, it would be unanimous, but we all know that won't happen. So we, as a council, have to accept whatever is decided. We have 11 voters. Maximus and Quinn have 1 vote for the 2 of them, just to make it so that we have an odd number of votes, ensuring that a decision is made, especially since they'll have the same opinion anyway. So, just so it's stated out loud, the options are to question the Accomplice humanely, in a manner that police would have done before the apocalypse. Now, the second option is not as humane. It's to use physical pain and other methods of torture, which would be handled by Seth Ford, who has done this before. The Accomplice claims that no methods of questioning will make him talk, just so that's noted. We can go around one by one, stating our vote. We'll start with me, and obviously, I vote that we continue to be humane. My reasoning behind that isn't because I don't think the Accomplice deserves it. I mean, I think we all know that he's an awful human being. It's just because I've been there, and I hate to think of myself putting someone else in that situation. That's all there is to it, really. We'll go around the table clockwise, next up with Anthony. Also, I'd like reasons for your choices also, just so, I don't know, you back up your decision, I suppose. Okay, well, I agree with Ryan. Sure, that's no surprise, but my reasoning is different. The moment we allow these kind of things, make them acceptable, is the day this community becomes something else. Something we're trying to keep out. This is meant to be a good place. People are meant to want to be here. Acting like savages for the sake of information he probably won't give up is pointless. We know very little about these people, but what we do know is that they're comfortable with pain. Perhaps they take some form of drugs, I don't know. We don't know. But either way, in my opinion, torture isn't the answer. Okay, well said. Well said, Anthony. Seth? I think you all know my opinion on this matter. After our conversation the other day, Ryan, I let you do your job. I was right to trust you with that, because soon after, Ivan managed to capture the Accomplice on a stakeout you set up. However, he took one of my people, and I will find out what he did to him by any means necessary. Okay. That's 2 against and 1 for. How about you, Rob? He attacked me and left me for dead. Not only that, but he took 2 defenseless children. My grandchildren. Like the general said, I want them back by any means. Okay. That makes it 2 for, 2 against. Alan? I mean, I'm not going to condone torture. If this guy can't feel pain due to some substance abuse, after a while of not having it, he'll start talking just to get his hands on something that's going to give him a kick. So, I'm against. Okay, that means 3 against and 2 for. I'm the head guard, and that Accomplice guy has made my job extremely difficult lately. I'm low on men due to having them stationed elsewhere, so I'm all for making him talk, even by using pain. Great. 3-3. Havoc. Talking about this from a strategic point of view, the best option here is to try both methods. You've already spoken to him, Ryan, and he didn't fully cooperate. This means it's time for another way. The use of torture has been proven to be extremely effective. When I weigh the odds of the Accomplice telling us information based on both methods, he's around 60% more likely to talk when using force and similar methods. So, that's my choice. Yeah, using your maths and your big old brain there. 4 for it and 3 against. Gracie? I believe, with what the Accomplice has done, he deserves whatever comes his way. I want my people back just as much as you all do. But something Ryan mentioned to me before has me thinking. If we torture this guy, kill him by accident maybe, and he doesn't tell us where our people are, that's it. We have no other chances. Whereas if he's alive and well, his people might consider a trade. Whoa, hold on a second. Did you just vote against hurting him? I did? Wow, you're actually taking my side for once. Makes it 4-4. How about you, Ivan? I'd like to go last, if that's possible. I have some things to say, and depending on what the final decision is, I might have to change how I word them. Okay. Just don't change your answer based on what everyone else says, okay? We'll come back to you. I mean, suppose it's only fair for you to go last since you're the guy that caught him. How about you, Emma? He took my dad. He can't get away with that. My dad is looking forward to meeting his unborn grandson soon. If we have to torture that guy to bring my dad back here, then I'm sorry to say, but I'm all for it. Fair enough, I guess. That's 5 for it, and 4 against. Maximus and Quinn, that means you're up. As someone who faced the Accomplice firsthand, I know just how dangerous he is. I also know how strategic and far ahead of us he is. My guess is that he's counting on us deciding to torture him. That'll get him out of his cell and give him opportunity to make a move. What that move will be, I don't know. But I am sure he has one. Everything my husband says is true. If we take him out of that cell, there's no way we'll get him back in it. I have my babies to look out for, and this man has already attacked Maximus. I'm not willing to take the risk of him coming after us. So, we stand with Ryan on this one. He simply gets questioned without the need to have him moved somewhere where I suppose his screams can't be heard. It looks like we're split 5-5. Have to say, I am really surprised by your decision, Gracie, but that does mean Ivan is the tiebreaker. Okay, that's a lot of responsibility, but I have made my mind up already. Before I make my choice final, I need to explain a few things. When I was on the stakeout last night, I was positioned on top of the museum. Kept my sight on the houses where Joe and that teacher woman went missing, or were living. Something strange caught my eye when I saw movement in the dirt. I thought it was a walker at first, but if it was, it would have come up all muddy, or come up or maybe even pushed its way out, but it didn't. The movement just stopped, and then I heard a noise, so of course I spun around and noticed what turned out to be that elusive white rabbit everyone talks about. Okay, so go on, continue with the point. Well, when I stopped looking at the rabbit and looked back at where the moving dirt was, he was just stood there. The accomplice, I mean, he didn't move. He didn't run, he didn't do anything. Just stood there and slowly turned to face me. He stared me straight in the eye and pretty much let me tranquilize him. I jumped down and went over to him to make sure he was out cold. He was, so I checked the ground where I thought it was moving. But nothing had changed, so I assumed the movement I saw was just my imagination running wild in the dark. Either way, now I've said what I needed to say. I think the fact that he let me take him down means that he wants to be in that cell at Hillbourne. I don't know why, and I can see what Maximus means, but I think it's the opposite. I believe he wants to stay in that cell for whatever reason. So by moving him someplace more secluded, where we can extract answers from him, we can therefore keep him under safer and probably stronger lock and key. Right, well, looks like I can't argue it. It was a close call, and I put my point across, but it seems that the torture methods have been approved. 6-5. Actually, now that the decision is out of the way, I have a question, or more of something to say. Wait, Alan, you waited till after the decision to say something? No, it's actually about what Ivan just said, about the moving dirt. Ivan, you said it was near the houses, correct? Yeah, but like I said, it was late and dark. Was the movement in front of a small oak tree in that patch of grass with the 3 trees? Yeah. Yeah, it was. I can't believe we didn't realize this sooner. Hold on, Alan, I'm not following. Realize what? The railway. I still don't follow. What railway? There isn't one. Gracie, you didn't tell him about the railway? It never came up. Well, it's come up now, and it's an incredibly important piece of information. If you knew about it sooner, then these kidnappings could have been stopped. Tell him, Gracie. I'm confused. What do you mean? When everything started, the military evacuated as many people as they could. They were exporting people via the railroads. And just like everything else, it fell apart. Since we didn't leave, we had a severe walker problem. Turns out they were all coming from the railway, so we came up with a plan to counter that. We gathered a load of strong plywood and went to every entrance leading down to the station. We laid down the plywood and packed dirt on top of them all, and I mean packed, to the point it was pretty much solid. We did this with all 6 entrances. Wait, 6? That's exactly how many POIs we have. I can honestly say I didn't even consider that the Accomplice could have been getting in through the railway. We covered them up over 3 years ago now. Most of the time I forget they were even there. We need those entrances opened up and guarded ASAP. We will. But we also need to get started on making him talk. We don't know whether he has more friends coming or not, or if our people are even still alive. Before we do anything, we need to know those things. Right, well, let me enlighten some of you, okay? When I spoke to him this morning, he said this was nowhere near over, that 13 people wasn't their goal, okay? And also, when I asked him about our people, he wouldn't give me a straight answer. He just kept saying he didn't know, but at the same time he was saying it in such a way that made it seem like he did, like he was being sarcastic. Well, I'm not agreeing with the torture, but it seems necessary. General Ford, do you believe you can get answers out of the Accomplice? Indeed I do. Like I said, won't be my first time. Alright, then get started straight away. I'll send some of my guards with you to escort him somewhere secure. And just to clarify for you, Ryan, the 6 entrances are in the same places as your points of interest. 3 in Olympus, 1 in Stone Hollow, 1 in Greenport, and 1 just off the shore by Gavin's Ranch. Yeah, well, Gracie, this would have been incredibly useful to know before 13 people were taken. I know, and that's my bad. Wait, you're bad? I'm not going to argue, okay? It's pointless. The decision's been made. And, I can use a few of your guards, Gracie. We need those railroads blocked off and guarded. Yeah, okay. Happy to help. Good. Thank you. Guess this council meeting is done for today then. Considering there's railroads that I didn't even know about. Did any of you know? I mean, Jesus. If we knew about them... Okay. Council meeting over. I need to go and vent to myself about Gracie not telling me about the goddamn railroads. There's a train station running beneath this entire community and I had no idea? I mean, I knew about the sewers. I thought at one point the Accomplice could have been getting in through the sewers, but we locked those, and turns out, no, they weren't. I mean, at least we know now. That's the only thing I have to say about this situation. Let's get them guarded and blocked off, and hopefully we can stop the Silenced from getting in here before they kill anyone else. Or kill anyone, I suppose. Take them. I don't even know what the Accomplice is doing. I mean, one minute he says he doesn't know if they're still alive, and the next he's joking around saying they're dead, and... I mean... I'm starting to lose the hope, but... I can't tell anyone that I'm starting to believe that everyone that's been taken is already dead.